Evening, everybody. Yes, I've been absent, but I was busy. I was busy with matric dances. I was busy with end of school term, lots of things. I also had lots to deal with in my personal life, lots of distractions from the enemy. So I was sitting here and my thought was, what can I say tonight? What can I do tonight? And I was looking through my books because I have a lot of books here. Um, and I thought, but girl, you wrote a book. Yes, some people know about it, but you wrote a book. So read them something from your book. And not just because you wrote a book, but to remind yourself of the goodness of God. Because my book's name is #purpose. And this is a book with 7 of some of the testimonies, things that happened in my life, and how the lessons I learned and what the enemy meant for evil, how God turned that around for good. So I want to read a snippet from testimony number 1, and the heading here is First Encounters with Purpose. So it says, my life began in the middle of winter, almost at 12 hours of that Tuesday evening in a small town called Worcester in South Africa. It started in the night, in the cold, almost at the end of the day. So from the beginning there was a darkness and coldness and an almost late but on time spirit around me. So whether God was a month late, he was always right on time. Never would anybody have thought at that moment what divine purpose I had and what God had planned for me. Yes, I had my fair share of darkness and light to guide me towards my purpose though. Sometimes it felt like darkness would never leave me, that it was just trial after trial, and that somehow God has forgotten all about me. But my story is a story of hope and proof that God exists and that he never left me, nor did he forsake me for even one moment. My story is proof that whatever the enemy meant for evil, God turned around for my good. And then I speak about my family life and how I ended up living with my uncle and my aunt. But I want to read you one significant thing that happened while I was growing up, was sharing a room with my 80-year-old grandmother. I was about 13 years old at the time. I wanted to be outside with friends, playing or just being, outside and exploring my teens. My grandmother was confined to bed, but she was a handful. She was very demanding, and stubborn, and always wanted things her way, and I get that from her. Sometimes I was the only one who was allowed to cut her nails or comb her hair because the other people were out to hurt her. That's what she believed. But every month when she received her pension, I would get that R1, the big R1 coins. We had a very special relationship, just as God planned this divine intervention in my most confusing time of growing up. Foundations were laid and seeds were planted in this season of my life. Every night, when the rest of the people were watching The Young and the Restless or some other TV program, I had to force myself to do Bible study with her. That was my job. Alone. This was my job at the time, a job given to me without having a choice by my grandmother. I hated every moment of it. I wanted to be outside in the streets playing tennis with wooden planks during Wimbledon season because I was the best photograph, or be the scorekeeper for the cricket boys play during cricket season, or just build friendships that would last a lifetime. But that was not in God's plan for my life. This hour of Bible study was serious business for my grandmother, and we never missed a night, not even during the exam times. For the Bible study, I had to read Psalm 23 every single night and another prepared scripture of my own choice. Then I had to sing a song from the Lutheran hymn book. And listen, people, I can sing for myself and I can sing in the shower, but don't make me sing for somebody. And in closing, I had to pray the Our Father. This happened every single night for about a year. As time went by, I sometimes ran through the process, and then, to my own dismay, my grandmother would tell me to start over with the words that I was not running to catch a train. At that time, while doing the Bible study, I was frustrated and felt that God was punishing me. And a few months before she passed, she called me into a room and she told me to get a pen and paper. I was appointed as an estate executor then and there. Confusion hit me like a whirlwind, shocked about the awareness that she might soon die, but also a bit proud that she called me. So I had to write down all her belongings, pots, pans, furniture, you name it, and to whom she was leaving them. Even my baby brother of 7 years at that time got some sort of ornament. I noticed my name did not appear on the list. So I asked her, "Did you forget about me?" And she simply answered, "Oh yes, you get my Bible and the wall of my clock in my kitchen." Let me just quickly remove that. Immediately, I was so angry. I was angry. Because how many Bibles can a person have? All the Bibles have the same story. But then the following words, and it still remains with me, and I apologize for the dogs at the back. But then the following words, stayed with me. It said, "I know," it was her words, "I know you will never leave my Bible in the dust. And remember, time waits for no one." It felt more like a command than a compliment, and I was extremely hurt at that moment, but only recognized later the significance of that moment in my life. So, and then the story goes on, but in the rest of the chapter, I speak about the providence, and I might get a bit emotional, the divine intervention of this Bible study ritual. Every night, I literally was declaring Psalm 23 over my life. And Psalm 23 has kept me sane during extremely difficult times in my life. Even at times when I felt like dying. It kept me. It reminded me of, even though I would walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I would fear no evil. That I would lack nothing. Even if it seemed like that. And through this simple thing that I had to do when I was 13 for about a year, I was speaking the psalm into existence over my life. And if you want to know more, let me know. You can buy my book. Everything that happens in your life happens for a purpose. Everything. Even the bad things. Psalm 23 is my national anthem for my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. May you guys have a blessed evening.